Let's get you out to Levi Stadium for the 2018 home opener. Here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
We're about 40 miles south of Candlestick Point as we welcome you inside Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Detroit Lions and the San Francisco 49ers. Here's Dante Pettis on the return. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Got his target, Pierre Garçon. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The numbers last week for Garçon: 4 catches, 60 yards.
Better tighten up the coverage if you expect to slow this guy down, because if he gets going, he'll eat you up.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st is Garoppolo. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding offense.
So that one a hold.
Still
right
first
guard.
down.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time you had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment, defense.
Jumpy on the right side of the line.
Sometimes when you're on the end, a little bit farther away from the ball, any type of movement will get you to jump, and that's exactly what happened there.
From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff...
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, these are going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
Now here's the first carry for Amir Abdullah. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. It's caught. Jones. Now Jones is hit. He lost the football. And this is going to be 49er football. So we've got a challenge. Our referee's going to take another look on the tablet.
The previous play
He's going to
is
be
under
watching
review.
to see if the knee is down. Following the fumble recovery, Stafford. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. Golden Tate, his intended receiver. And now it's second down.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back. On 2nd and 10, Stafford. He'll find a man over the middle. It's Galladay. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. A second down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. Back to throw. Stafford. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. To throw, it's Garoppolo. He'll find Goodwin here on the right side. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down.
Holding. Offense.
Pretty rare penalty on the Pro Bowl left tackle, Joe Staley. This is Breida. And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. Now let's check on the call.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So they'll walk him back half the distance. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Over the middle to Garcon. The penalty set him back. Now a big play moves him forward. It's second down.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
Only a gain of a yard there, but it indeed gets him a new set of downs.
I don't know about you, partner, but on 2nd and inches, a lot of the times I'm leery about the offensive guys thinking about taking a shot downtown. Instead, they just hand it to the big man and let him rumble forward for a first down.
pressure too strong. Down he goes. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result?
Sack.
Quarterback gets hit.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. Here's Breida. Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. A sizable gain there, 9 yards as they get it back to a 3rd and 5.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at the 20. And they begin the drive with Abdullah. And he stopped immediately there. Solomon Thomas there on the tackle. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. Looking for Tate, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 28. And into the end zone. A pick 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown.
What you just saw there, first-round talent, 2nd year, even more success. A pick 6 for a touchdown.
A great play. And it's tough for these guys, you've told me before, to adjust in the secondary as a first-year guy. So that sophomore season is big for them.
They really start to expand the playbook for them even more. Sometimes they dumb it down a little bit to make them comfortable year 1. By year 2, they should have all the nuances, and now they've adjusted to the speed of NFL play as well.
Showed right there. And Detroit getting set to go now. Stafford here coming off his pick 6. And Jones has it over the middle. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. And let's listen in on the call.
Holding, offense.
That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Following the penalty, Abdullah. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. There to stop him on the defensive side, Fred Warner.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Here's Stafford now on second down. Over the middle, complete to Tate. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. They give him a gain of 38.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. On 1st down, Abdullah. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So that one will be accepted. Now a handoff, Johnson. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Stafford. And this one's incomplete.
My man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
It really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Stafford hands to Abdullah. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 9 yards on the carry, but it's going to lead to a 4th down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
And this is no good. Close but no cigar, just wide right. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Ezekiel Ansah in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Garoppolo to throw on 2nd down. He gets this one to Garcon. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd. Now it's the Florida Atlantic alum. This is Alfred Morris. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
I liked his focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need one. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
2nd quarter now. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis with you. It's the 49ers in control of the football, and they've got it here with a 1st down. On play action, it's Garoppolo. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
and it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Now a play fake. Garoppolo. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. A big play. Garoppolo to Garcon. 48 yards.
We just saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because usually you have defenders in the middle of the field. But if you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience, they get tired of watching those balls get caught. They start to creep up a little bit, and that's when you can hit them big over the top.
And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 10 more there and another first down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Garoppolo now, first down throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. The intended receiver, Marquise Goodwin, and it's 3rd down.
Now we got 3rd and goal coming up, and couldn't you imagine being in that huddle, partner? You know they're looking at each other saying, we can't come away with just 3 points after this drive.
Yeah, they've covered a lot of ground. They want more than that 3. Garoppolo now on 3rd and goal. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And they're going to stop him here short of the goal line with the flag down. Well, this could set up a very interesting decision.
Holding offense.
Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding goal.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. For the former Washington Husky, Dante Pettis, touchdown number 1 in his career. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. So that's the rookie's first trip to the end zone, and I think it's safe to say one he'll always remember.
Oh, without a doubt. That one is going to be imprinted forever. And nowadays, we're seeing rookies make a greater impact at that position at receiver than ever before. I think mainly because of the sheer volume of footballs that they catch in college.
Oh, and now he bowls him over. And a great return. Solid field position. He's up all the way to the 45-yard line.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position. Stafford
and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at the 45. They start the drive with Abdullah. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Stafford now to throw. Caught right side, Tate. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. On 3rd down, Stafford. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they have little chance of winning this one.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Yet again, Pierre Garçon and company gearing up to take the field, making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but his shredding defense is getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
Holding. Offense.
Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
Now it's Breida, and an alley to run. He's got it up to the 15, showed off some fancy footwork there on the play. Give him 5 yards there, and it'll bring up second down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
On second down, here's Garoppolo. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
The Niners on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. He'll wind up being stopped for no gain, and it'll lead to a 4th down. Here's Bradley Pinion now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. A quick feed from Tate. A punt of 46, a return of 5. And the Lions will take over. And Detroit getting set to go now. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
They go play action here on first down. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on second down. But the passing game right now for them, not overly impressive. Last week he hit on right at 50%. This week he's under 50%.
And it's not just on him. Protection, a few breakdowns along the way. That's made him get off the spot. Receivers not getting their way open downfield. The coverage has been awfully tight. They've got to all get together and find ways to make this passing game get in gear.
And he whips that one incomplete there. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time. And it'll bring up third down.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series, before you get out there, hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
To throw on third down, Stafford. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the former Super Bowl MVP, Malcolm Smith.
Partner's bad enough when you just can't hold on to the football. But when your quarterback's throwing it to the other team, that's 3 interceptions now, 4 turnovers for the game. You really have no chance to win the football game.
Garoppolo now. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. Garoppolo looks to throw. And his throw here is incomplete. He was looking for Trent Taylor there. And it's third down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
The Niners on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and forever. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
So that'll be marked down as a 19-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had today. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Solomon Thomas in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. And keep your eye on that man. 4 sacks last week, 1 there here in the second quarter. He can be so disruptive.
So what was he doing in the first quarter? What was going on?
Took a nap.
I think he tried to lull him to sleep a little bit. Like, yeah, okay, maybe you've got me this week. No longer. And you know, with the 4 sacks last week, it's obvious he gets his in flurries.
And Tate's got it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Escapes the sack. But he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Solomon Thomas in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Well, that's 2 sacks in this game, so add that to the 4 from last week. I think that's 6.
Good math. Excellent math. And look, he's going to get all the attention he deserves it. He got home and got the quarterback on the ground. But that's a concentrated team effort because you have a lot of guys who occupy blockers to allow him access to rush the passer.
After the sack, here's 2nd and 11. Stafford gives to Abdullah. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there. Yet again, Pierre Garçon and company gearing up to take the field. He's been really good in the yardage category, yet to hit the end zone, however.
A minor blemish against him right now because the work he's doing catching the ball, in some ways he's helping serve as good ball control because the big plays that he's making have really helped out his team.
Absolutely. They're winning on the scoreboard here in quarter number 2. He was brought down by Devon Kennard.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
False start, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. And That false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. On play action, now Garoppolo. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. That one goes for 24 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? It sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
False start, offense.
And that'll set him back 5. The false start hurts him there a bit, backs him up to 2nd and 9. Now Garoppolo on the bootleg. His throw incomplete. Trent Taylor, the one he was looking for. And it's 3rd down. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
Yeah, really turned it loose, didn't he? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. Complete to the tight end, Kittle, over the middle of the field. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. So here come the Lions now. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
So 1:56 to play in this first half. A reminder coming up at halftime, the coach is back. He made it through the first weekend. That's the good news, and he's going to regale you with stats and scores from around the NFL here in the early games in Week 2.
You think he questioned coming back for Week 2, having to work with us?
I think he did. He's just happy that he is far away in Orlando. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. To throw on 2nd down, Stafford. The left side completion to Jones. Touchdown, Detroit. Marvin Jones, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Lions have got it back to a 1-score game. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Here's Prater now set to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Yet again, Pierre Garçon and company gearing up to take the field. He's the star wide receiver, and he's doing his thing so far here into the second quarter.
And how you get distinguished as a star is each and every week performing to a high level no matter what they throw at you, because you're always wanting to take him out of the game if you're a defensive team. How do you press him, double him, triple him, all those things. But the best players show up each and every week. Solid games and some spectacular ones.
And he has showed up time and time again. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Garoppolo to try again on 2nd down. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes. One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
And able to haul it in is Kittle. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as he'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Throwing on first is Garoppolo. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. And yet again, it's Garoppolo. Over the middle, that's caught by Taylor. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag. But you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's 1st and goal. Garoppolo looks to throw once more. And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Jimmy Garoppolo with his 2nd touchdown pass of this first half. And the 49ers add on to their lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. And Detroit getting set to go now. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on it at 2nd down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. A 2nd down run for Abdullah. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. Now Stafford. He's going to air one out. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, instead of 4th down after the incompletion, it'll be 1st down, roughing the passer.
Coaches love their defenses to be aggressive, but they want them to be smart as well. Have to leave the quarterback alone at a certain point.
A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Throw left side complete. That's Jones. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the left hash, this from 37. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So they're still down, but they are able to salvage 3 here heading into the lockers.
This is what you work on from the beginning of training camp. Heading into the half, put some points on the board. No matter what the score says at that point, you've accomplished what you set out to do.
Prater now will send it away following the made field goal. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. So we have reached halftime here, and in 11. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And what a return. Great field position all the way out to the 48-yard line.
It's the 3rd quarter, and they're down on the scoreboard, and while no one wants to hit the panic button just yet, points are a necessity on this drive. What a great way to get set up.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. Now Stafford. A dump off for Abdullah. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Call it a gain of 3, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. That's caught inside the 20. That goes for a gain of 31. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
And they'll lose yardage here, knocked back to the 19-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
On 2nd down, here's Stafford. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football.
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about any more.
Garoppolo to throw on second down. The throw to the left side, caught by Coleman. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. Garoppolo on first down. Over the middle, and he's got Goodwin complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. That throw good for 4. It's second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. They run with Breida. Not much there, maybe a couple up to the 35. The Niners on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 4. Throwing now is Garoppolo. And able to find Garcon. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That's good for a Niner first down. Garoppolo to Garcon.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The Niners on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 7. From midfield, here's Garoppolo. Goodwin able to haul it in. And he's got this down to the 35. Garoppolo to Goodwin there for a 49er first. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
And some room to roam now. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense get a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football.
Still first down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
They will come up on a 1st and 5 following the encroachment penalty. They run with Morris. And now running right, and he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Alfred Morris, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead. This offense certainly looking a lot more comfortable here at home. They lost last week in the opener on the road, but there's something about that home opener makes you feel more settled.
Yeah, I wish we could quantify it, too, because You're playing the same game. The field's the same, size. We know all of that. But being at home, sometimes when you do things well, you get that extra push from your home fans, and it elevates your game.
And in the driver's seat right now. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. Here's Stafford. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. And this is going to be 49er football.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
Yeah, caught up to him. And they'll go on the ground. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
They run again with Breida. They'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. And Gold is able to put it through. And that will extend their lead even further. So not sure how they feel about that. They had Gold in field position to start the drive after the fumble recovery, but they went backward and then got 3.
Well, let's go from gold to silver, because the silver lining is they got the 3, right? You were talking about the golden field position. They didn't take advantage of it. That has to feel like a letdown.
You always stand ready to pounce. Always. On 1st and 10, Stafford. He's going to loft one deep. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. And the 49ers getting set to trot out there. They had the double-digit lead at halftime, and they have continued to roll. They're hard to stop right now.
I think what we're seeing is an example of a team that has it figured out in this ball game. And whatever the adjustments are the defense has made, hasn't slowed them, hasn't phased them at all. They either anticipated them or they've been so far ahead that they just can't catch up.
Now it's just a search to add to the lead. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Garoppolo throwing on 2nd. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And that will extend the lead out to 24. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now a give. This is Abdullah. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
So after the loss of 2, here's 2nd and 12 from the 23. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Stafford. They've got his man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That goes for a gain of 31. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Stafford. And that is incomplete. The tight end, Luke Wilson, was the target. And it's 3rd down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. Looking downfield for Jones. And they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
It'll be called just a 22-yard punt. Certainly not what he wanted. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. So, Charles, there are the numbers. What's happened here? Defensive adjustments that's caused him to sort of fall off a bit?
I think so. That has to happen. You've got to make some changes because in the first half, they were pretty effective. But the second part is sometimes when you're doing really well, you get off your game a little bit. You get off the gas a little. You're like, okay, we've got this thing. And that's not necessarily the case. Maybe right now, someone just needs to tell a joke in the huddle, loosen things up, and get their big guy going again. And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
That was a good chunk of yardage picked up there. And big fella, sometimes he doesn't need a whole lot of space created. He can make his own way.
Looking to throw. Garoppolo. Complete to the tight end, Kittle, over the middle of the field. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. A good pickup there, a 22. This quarterback now over 300 yards now for the game, and time to improve on that as he's got a 1st and 10. And they'll go with a ground attack here. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they were hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, here's Garoppolo. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. Back now here in Santa Clara. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Garoppolo looking very comfortable running this Niners offense. He's got a 1st and 10. Inside the red zone, it's Garoppolo. The former Pro Bowler Glover Quinn there making the play.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Garoppolo again here on 2nd and 10. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
Nifty move. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. A great effort there. His 1st touchdown of the new season. And the 49ers, they're just pouring it on. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. So out now come the Lions. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the 1st.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a 2nd interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Breaks a tackle. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Over the middle, complete to Tate. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the 1st down completion. They were in zone defensively, went with a crossing route. It's always interesting to watch that chess match.
Yeah, and I think safeties don't mind crossing routes against zone because eventually you're going to run into their territory, and that's when they lick their chops in order to get the big hit or a play on the ball.
Offensively, nice execution to find a hole, make the catch. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
The Lions had the fewest third down conversions on the ground in the NFL in 2017. What will they do here on 3rd and short? Stafford looking to throw on 3rd and 1. It's complete. Abdullah. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Amir Abdullah, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Lions were able to draw a bit closer.
And that's another route that defenders would vote to take out of the game.
The wheel route?
Oh, without a doubt. You're just trying to move everybody in one direction. And whether it's a running back or another receiver, as they zip out on the sideline, you've got a problem on your hands.
Yeah, well, the defenders hate it there. It happened, and it resulted in a touchdown. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. They built up that lead at intermission, and they're just continuing to pour it on right now, aren't they?
Locked into a really good groove right now. I don't know if it's just the play calling. I know the execution is really, really sharp right now, and all the playmakers are doing exactly what you expect. They're making plays, and right now, defense has no answer and no chance of catching up.
Yeah, they're just looking to turn anywhere for a stop defensively. They'll start on the ground with Breida, and he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech.
Holding offense.
And they will elect to decline the penalty.
Everything turned out the way they wanted it to. No sense in even having to take that one, hence the decline.
And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. Play action. Garoppolo. He'll find Goodwin here on the right side. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Now we've got whistles and a timeout here. Yeah, looks like we've got a 49er that's down on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on for the 5th time here today. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Getting set to go again, Matthew Stafford trots back onto the field. And he had the touchdown on the last drive, also 4 for 4. Very, very effective. What does he need to do to translate that forward into this drive?
Not think that what he saw in coverages last time is exactly what he's going to get again. He's got to play ahead and start thinking to himself, okay, we just did that. What are they going to take away now? What do we go to as a counter and continue to encourage his offensive line?
And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Solomon Thomas in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. To throw on 2nd down. Stafford, he finds Riddick, complete. And he'll be stopped right at midfield.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face
Automatic
mask.
first down.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Now it's Stafford. And that is incomplete.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. totally off his game right now?
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
Well, sometimes, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well.
On 2nd and 10, Stafford. And his throw is incomplete. Ahkello Witherspoon, really good coverage from the Colorado man, getting a hand in on it. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter, and find their way open.
Here's Stafford.
Holding offense.
So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Desperation time for Stafford on 4th down. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
A handoff to Abdullah. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they...
And he has his receiver. That's Jones. Lions touchdown. Marvin Jones with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Lions are able to cut into this lead. Out of the gun, Stafford shrugs him off. He's got it. So they convert to 2. That keeps their slim hopes alive as we're back to a 2-score game. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. What was once a really comfortable lead is not so comfortable anymore. Down to a 2-score game after they've seen a pair of touchdowns go against them on those last 2 drives.
Yeah, they've got to find a way to get off of autopilot right now, okay? Get back to what was working for them earlier. Understand that they still have a 2-score lead, so it's not dire, but at the same time, okay, guys, let's mash the gas. Let's get going again. Let's have some fun.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Going to throw right side here, complete. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Elsewhere across the league, 4th quarter action in Los Angeles. And the Rams have scored again, able to stretch their lead. A win would be their 2nd on the young season. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or 2 in and bats it away.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Back to the air. Stafford on second down. And now here is another interception. Picked off with great anticipation. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow him down.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. Defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. And a quick slant, good for 8 and a first.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
On first down, Garoppolo. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment, defense.
And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
Garoppolo looks to throw once more. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's third down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got a lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, fourth quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
Open man is Pettis. It's complete. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. 3 touchdown passes now for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the 49ers add on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Here comes Matthew Stafford now to lead his offense back out there. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one. It's brought in left side by Tate. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Now a play fake here on first down. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding, offense.
So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. A shotgun snap for Stafford. The left side completion to Jones. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 17 yards to pick up there. To throw on second down is Stafford. A dump off for Abdullah. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Stafford. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Second and 10, Stafford again. Trying to lay one up deep. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Throwing again is Stafford. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward.
Holding. Defense.
Wait a second. They did not accept that after the incompletion. What? Your look is just as puzzled as mine.
I got nothing for you here. You have to take that penalty, don't you?
It's 3 yards. Now a handoff looking right. And able to find a little space. He gets this up over the 15 to the 16. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. The tackle made there by Jarrad Davis. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for San Francisco. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. From the gun, here's Stafford. He's going to let it fly. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
Definitely desperation time. This just looks like, hey, throw it down there, hope that your guy can make a play.
You want him to make a play, but if not, maybe you get a pass interference call. And you know in the NFL, that's a spot foul. You get all of that yardage. That would be a big play.
On second down, here's Stafford. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. Throwing on third down, Stafford. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Cassius Marsh in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a fourth down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Cassius Marsh in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
And on the ground they go with a running back. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, and then the defense rallying quickly after that broken tackle. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's third down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.